So we are back here with another video, man, and we are going to be using math, science, algorithms, all of the above to determine if these are the worst pack odds we have ever seen. The pack odds in 2K26 Myteam, that is, man. So let's get right into it. Before we do, though, please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new, as well as leave a like on the video, man. Lots more Myteam content coming, so don't miss out. So, if we look at the odds on these wild gem super packs that just dropped today, we have a 2.1. So we're actually going to go through the odds for each tier, and then we are going to go over how many cards are getting pulled of each tier. And you guys will see how we do that, man. Make sure to stay tuned because this is going to be a really, really interesting video. So yeah, man. For a gold, because it is a 100% chance at a 66 plus and a 49% chance at an 80 plus. That means that for a gold card, you have a 51% chance of pulling a gold card in your pack. For an emerald, you have a 23% chance. For a sapphire, you have a 16% chance. For a ruby, you have a 5% chance. For an amethyst, you have a 2.9% chance. For a diamond, you have roughly a 2% chance. And for a pink diamond, well, just stay tuned, man. I'll tell you guys exactly pretty much what your odds are at pulling a pink diamond. So if we go over into the market now, I know that this is not going to be 100% accurate because I know that some people open up packs and keep cards. I know that there's just some people doing that. Not every single card that is pulled is being put on the market, man. So I know it's not 100% accurate for every aspect that we are going to discuss in this video, but I think it will still give us a pretty good idea of what the actual odds are looking at, which will be really, really interesting once we start getting into the higher tiers, man. So in the last hour, I mathed it out. In the last hour, and we're only looking at hidden gems cards because those are the packs that are getting open today, or wild gems, excuse me. I get those two mixed up. We are going to be looking at golds in the last hour, and in the last hour, there were 161 gold cards on the auction house. For emerald, there were 83. For sapphire, there were 115. Now, the odds of pulling a sapphire are about 7% lower than an emerald. So why is there more sapphires on the market than emeralds? Well, what that tells me is that there's a lot of whales ripping a lot of these packs that are just quick selling emeralds and golds. That is what that tells me, because obviously sapphires have more value than an emerald. So with there being 115 sapphires per hour and 83 emeralds per hour, that means that there is people quick selling emeralds. It doesn't mean that less emeralds are getting pulled. It means that more emeralds are being quick sold than sapphires. So that was the first thing where I was like, okay, this is pretty interesting. And then we go up to ruby, where ruby there were 90 in the last hour, so that is still more than emeralds, which is very, very interesting. Again, it just goes to show that people are quick selling emeralds and golds. And then for amethyst, we actually had 95. So that is also pretty interesting. I think why the odds for pulling an amethyst and a ruby are pretty similar. I think that there are more amethysts on the auction house because there are more rubies in the game. So the chances that people, like card collectors, the chances of people getting rubies that they don't already have are higher than people getting amethysts that they don't already have, if that makes sense. Now, that's a very few and far between subset of the community that are keeping all these cards. But I think with it being as small of a difference as it is, with the amethyst being just higher than rubies, I think that that is why this is the case. I don't think there's anybody quick selling amethysts and rubies. But I think there is a few of those crazy people out there, man, that are keeping every card that they pull, and the chances they're getting a ruby that they don't have are higher than chances of getting an amethyst that they don't have. So that's why I think that that is the way that it is. If we look at diamonds, there were 65 in the last hour. So that is the lowest amount that we have seen so far. But that's still pretty decent odd to pull a diamond, man. And we're going to get into the math of everything too especially with these higher tiers at the end of this, what we're going to throw these numbers in a calculator, man. We're going to tell you what your exact odds are to pull a certain tier. So 65 diamonds in the last hour. And then pink diamonds. I just went ahead and threw this Robert Parrish in here because, I mean, he's got 2 minutes left to an hour. And so with that being said, there's 2 pink diamonds for every hour, which is about, I mean, there's 3 in this hour, there's 3 in this hour, and then there's obviously some hours where there isn't any posted. So I just went ahead and said about 2 per hour on average are getting pulled. And there is people keeping them. There's people keeping them with all these tiers, but that is the amount that we came up with pink diamonds. So what that means is that for every hour on average, I mean, this is just a sample hour, so the amounts are definitely going to vary. There is 611 cards on the auction house that are ending every hour, wild gems. And so that means specifically wild gems out of these packs that dropped today. So with that math, assuming all the cards are getting posted, which they are not, that would mean that there are 12 51 pack boxes getting opened up every hour. So $1,200 are getting spent every hour on this game, which seems about right to me. I mean, that seems like it would be about right. So yeah, that is kind of what we're looking at with that. So are these odds the worst we have ever seen? Well, we are about to find out. Obviously, you know, 2 and 611, let's just do the odds on that. So out of 611 packs opened, which I know that these are not the exact amount of packs open, but this is just our sample that we have. This is close, we're going to get to an estimate. So that means that you have a 0.00327 chance at pulling a pink diamond, which is pretty scary low, man. That is pretty scary low. That is lower than I thought it was going to be. That is absolutely insane. And then for diamonds, the odds displayed are a 2.1% chance. And the odds that we have here are a 1.05% chance. Why is that? Because some diamonds are being kept. That is why it is. So if these are pretty accurate here, that kind of would mean to me that there are more people keeping cards than I originally thought. So the odds are actually probably going to be higher than these estimates here. So then, with the amethyst, you would, oh, I messed up on the diamonds. I'm sorry. It's not a 1%. It's like a 10%. So let's do that again here. 65 divided by 611. Yeah, sorry, it'd be 10.6%. It wouldn't be 1.06%. Sorry about that. So yeah, it'd be a 10.06% chance, which of course it is a little bit lower than that because as we've already seen, there are a lot of emeralds and golds getting quick sold. So the odds here say that it's a 10.6% chance, but it's actually, they have to display the correct odds legally. So it is the odds that they tell you, but yeah, 10.06% chance off of this sample size. Amethyst, we have a 15.5% chance, which of course is higher than the actual odds. Ruby, we have a 13.7% chance, which is higher than the actual odds, which all of these are going to be obviously because of the quick sold cards. So we'll just continue and quit saying that. Sapphire, we are looking at 18.8. Emerald, we are looking at 13.5. Gold, we are looking at 26.35. So one thing that is getting confused with pack odds, and there are 2 things that are being said, and both of them are getting kind of melded together, I guess you could say. Now, there is one statement that is being said more than anything else, and that is the pack odds are worse than ever, which could mean, that is a very broad statement. That could mean a few different things. So if we're looking at specific cards, your odds to pull a specific pink diamond wild gem, yes, they're worse than ever. Say you want Karl Malone, you've got a 1 in 40% chance out of a 0.003% chance. So, of course, your odds of pulling Karl Malone specifically are lower than they have ever been. But I think the card pulling a specific tier, pretty similar to what they have kind of always been, man. So that is one thing that is kind of, the pack odds specifically are not the lowest that we've ever seen. We know that. But your odds to get a specific card are the lowest that we've ever seen. So that is kind of something that is getting confused. So that is something that I kind of wanted to just clear up. So I don't know, man. I thought that looking at this would kind of give us a better idea of the actual pack odds. I guess it kind of did. But of course, the percentages are a little bit thrown off because obviously we found out that a lot of emeralds and golds are getting quick sold. Like I would say probably over half of emeralds and golds are getting quick sold, which is kind of crazy because they still got value, man. You're throwing away a lot of MT there. But anyway, I hope that this video was entertaining to you guys regardless, man. So hope that you enjoyed. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new, as well as leave a like on the video, man. And I will see you guys in, well, let me just make this statement in short. The pack odds in NBA 2K26 Myteam are not the worst that we've ever seen. But of course, the odds for a specific card are. So yeah, we will see you guys in the next video.